This is Timothy Bishop on February 24th of 1992. And because just about 4 or 5 days ago, I found out that Mary was going to basketball practice again because their basketball team is going to some kind of tournament. And I'm just tickled to death that I get the opportunity to do this again. I thought the basketball practice nights were over because their last game was about 2 weeks ago. But I guess they're not over yet because they're playing in some other special kind of thing, so they got more chances to go to basketball practice nights, and they were going to go Tuesday and Thursday of this week, and I think they still plan on doing it, but today it's Monday, right? I just found out about 2 hours ago that Dad's got a basketball game that he plays in that he's going to tonight, so guess what? I get to do it tonight, too, and they're going to be back in about 50 minutes or so, so I got to be sure to say whatever I'm going to say in the least amount of time possible, and when the going gets tough, the tough gets going, so you just got to... Anyway... There's been a lot of burping going on lately. Just recently I figured out how to make myself burp, and so now I've been able to give myself a nice helping of burps to listen to on my tapes, and I've become very experienced with it. Okay, first I want to start out by telling you about Thursday night, the night before we went to the weekend at Mom's house. Thursday night we went to Sherry's house for supper, and at first I didn't really want to go. He told me I had to take a shower because... he didn't want me stinking and all because I was wearing my ducktail shirt, and he said, I don't want you to be wearing them sweatshirts that stink all the time because they make you all sweaty and you stink. And he says, why don't you go in there and take a shower, put on something that doesn't stink. And he says, well, why don't me and Mary go on down there right now while you're in the shower, and I'll come back and pick you up in about 20 minutes. So that's what they did. I came out of the shower about 10 minutes early. I sat in my room talking to myself, saying, I just need some time alone. I just need some time alone. I said, I just need some time alone. I'll tell you what. And I'll tell you, I do need time alone. I do need more of it these days. I just can't live without it. And it's been like, lately, when we're around here, there's always something going on. So you hardly ever get to be alone without feeling guilty without going with him. Like, for instance, he goes to those basketball games. He'll usually ask me 2 or 3 times, do you want to go? And I try to make a fixed decision the first time that sounds fixed so that he won't ask me again. And I don't have to keep rejecting him over and over and over again because I feel guilty about that. And it's just, I have to do that, though, just to get some time alone around here, and I need it. I need it really bad, so it's worth the guilt. Besides, it's only about 5 minutes of whatever in all. Well, anyway, I'll tell you about Thursday night. We went down to Sherry's house. I didn't think Mark was going to be there, but guess what? He was there, and I am so happy that he was, because I just needed him right there. And I was thinking, well, we're going down to Sherry's house. Mark's not going to be there because Jessica's the only one that lives there anymore. And I've had enough of that Jessica coming over and Mark not coming over. Even when he lived there, it was like that almost 30% of the time. And now it's going to be like that 100% of the time. Well, we went down there and Mark was there. I was so tickled. So I was trying to hit that wall on this. We didn't have a basketball goal, so we drew this thing with chalk on the wall. And we tried to hit it inside of the box on that little dot in the middle of it. And later on, we started playing this. I don't know, we just rode around on our bikes and scooters. And sometimes Mark and Josh go across the street over into the apartments, and I'll be sitting there riding around all alone. It's like they never want to be around me or something. Sometimes it hurts. And I can't stand it when they go away like that and they don't come back forever and ever and ever. And they'll be gone away for about 5 minutes, and I'll be around looking for them. It just makes me so mad that they don't stick close to me. And maybe it's that I don't stick close to them, but I don't want to be hanging around with all those folks, and I don't even know any of them. Anyway, I'll tell you what, sometimes they just leave and they don't come back for a long time, and it drives me crazy. Then they finally come back later on, about 5 minutes, and it's like, they'll go back and then they'll come back in a little while. Then they'll go back and they'll take a little bit longer to come back. Eventually they went back and they never came back. So I took my scooter and I rode all the way around Lewis Circle and I didn't find them. And I walked into Sherry's house and they were sitting there inside, so I don't know if they were hiding around and they went in while I was on my way out there, but I had to bring my scooter to save time because that thing will speed you away. That thing will save you a lot of time. It's faster than running, and it's less tiring, too. And it's pretty fun, too, but I hate the traffic, though, because every time you're going down there and you're walking, you see the traffic, and they're staring at you, and you never know if there's somebody you know there. We went in, and we ate supper, and we watched Clash of the Titans, and let's see, what else did we do? We didn't do a whole lot of other stuff. I don't know. Let's see, I'll tell you, recently about, like, it was Friday or Saturday, I discovered that I didn't have one of my $10 bills. I used to have $30 in tens, and now I've only got 20. I don't know where all my money went. I don't understand. I used to have 3 tens, and now I only got 2. Well, I haven't checked it since Friday, so I don't know if I still have only $20 in tens, but it's disappointing when you lose that kind of money. And it's not the first time either. Let me see. Boy, I'll tell you what. Let's see. Rascal over at Mom and Steve's house there. They'd been doing a lot of searching for him. He had gotten kind of sick. And anyway, they found out that it was his collar that was making him sick. So they eventually took it off. I remember the night before, it was Saturday night, me and Steve walked all over the place looking for Rascal, and we just could not find him. We knocked on people's doors across the street and everything, we just couldn't find him. Another, this is just our last weekend that we've just had. We watched Star Wars. We were watching Star Wars when me and Steve went out there. And so when we came back in, Star Wars was still on a little bit. Recently we watched Karate Kid. That's pretty good, but I'm reading the book about Karate Kid 3, and I haven't finished watching Karate Kid 2 this afternoon earlier. I watched about half of it, so, kind of lost in Karate Kid land. I had the weirdest dreams that night. I had a dream about when Mom wanted to set her house on fire because she wanted her insurance to pay her some money so she could go and rent a new house. And she started setting a long strip of fire, and I was trying to save the Nintendo by unhooking it. And I said, "Oh my God, the Super Nintendo's here!" And I left that Nintendo there, and I ran for the Super Nintendo. And suddenly I woke up and found out it was a school day. I would have been better off in the fire situation, if you ask me. I'll tell you what, Yo Noid. Earlier I remember saying that I wasn't able to get past the skateboard board. Now I can do it. I can get about to board 8 with the ornithopter or something. It's some board where you have to fly through these spikes, and it's the easiest board in the world. I don't know why I can't get by it. I don't know if it's just because I'm careless, but that's easy. It's just all it takes is one mistake and you're out of it. You have to go back to the beginning again, so I guess that's what it is. She told me, she left me hanging. She really kind of pissed me off, It was Wednesday. It was Wednesday. We had been gone away from Mom's house for an entire week. And then the next Wednesday night, when we got there, Wednesday morning, she suddenly, right as we pulled up to Commerce High School, she suddenly announced to me, "Hey, Tim, we got a new game." She left me hanging all day that day, wondering what the game was. I was sitting there, golly, what is that game that Mom got? Wow, golly, what is that game Mom got? I was thinking, oh, what if it's The Adventures of Lola? What if it's this? What if it's that? What if it's something? Hold on a minute. I'm so sorry. I mean to tell you, I thought that they were home. I honestly did, and I didn't want them to see me talking into this thing. Anyway, I was thinking all day that day, what if it's The Adventures of... What if it's that? What if it's something I've already played? If it was something I already played, then I would just tell them I've never played it before and be dynamic. Like if it was Mega Man or something. We went over there, it was Alpha Mission. That game is so darn stupid. I will tell you, I played that game at Mark's house, and I beat it in no time at all. What it was a very hard game at first, but I went over to Joy and Darren's house and spent the night after the day of Mom and Steve's wedding. They had a game called Sky Shark that was very similar in appearance to Alpha Mission. And when I played that game, it was extremely difficult. And I found it very difficult to even get past the first board. It was that difficult. And when I went back to play Alpha Mission, it seemed a lot easier. Anyway, sheesh, I'm watching this commercial with a roller coaster on it. Anyway, what was I saying? Alpha Mission, I went back and played it, and I beat it all the way through. I'll tell you what, it was so easy compared to Sky Shark, that game at Joy and Darren's house. But anyway, it turns out that I was real good at Alpha Mission, and I beat it and everything. It's the stupidest game. And all you're doing is going around and shooting this junk. There's not even it doesn't even have an ending. When you blow up the last guy, you go back to level 1. You don't even see the ship do anything. It's like do 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 do. You come up to the last guy, and you sit there, beat him. All of a sudden, it's like an automatic scrolling game, right? Screen scrolls automatically, and then it stops when you get to the boss, and you have to fight the boss. When you blow him up, immediately when he blows up, the screen starts scrolling again. You're on to the next board. You get to the last guy at the end of level 6, and you beat him. Just keeps on going right into Area 7. The exact same thing as level 1. And you fight the level 1 boss again. Just changes the boss around a little bit. Other than that, it's just absolutely nothing to it. Not even an ending. I'm so sorry. Super Mario Bros. 1 has a better ending than that game. But it's the stupidest game of all the games they could have gotten. Now, I don't mean to be so rude and everything, but that is just... They like it so much. It's what really surprises me, is that they like it so much. And you like a game the first time you play it, but this game, it's not one of those games you can like the first time you play it. It's just not that kind of game. Well, anyway, I don't know. Maybe I've just bitten off a little more than I can chew, but I don't know. So anything else I really need to talk about? There's not a whole lot. I just finished watching some news report about addiction to video games, and Nintendo says that video games are completely harmless as long as moderation is there, and I agree with that. I agree that you can let your child play video games without harm as long as you don't let them play it 6 and 7 hours a day. Well, I don't play video games that much, to be honest. If I don't have the Super Nintendo, I usually don't play much. And I could play Super Mario World right now if I wanted to. I could just bring it down and hook it up to the VCR and get some footage of my Super Mario World bloopers or something. And that might be a good idea. I might think of it next time I'm listening to this. You know, to be honest, I'm not really sure I want this to be a part 3 to my series or a part 5, because part 3 is on that adventure tape, and it takes too long. And it's not that good of a tape either, because I didn't really say much of anything. All I did was sat there and talked about school. Let's see. Let's see what's on the old boob tube here. Here we go. It's on channel 2. I guess this is still news. Let's see what else we got here. Channel 3, it looks like some serious basket trash. Looks like I Love Lucy. It was my math teacher from last year. By the way, that's not Mr. Bagwell. Some combination of a comedian and a minister, some guy singing in the rain. This is the Disney Channel with, I don't know what that is. I know it's that one where Daffy Duck tries to kill that gigantic guy on the horse. He goes and shoots the spear at him, and it lands on that cliff and acts as a bridge. It's a travel across it. Some advertisement for another cordless telephone. Some ugly guy. I wish I could let you listen to my tape of Ghouls and Ghosts. By the way, new game in the vocabulary, Ghouls and Ghosts. We just rented it over the weekend. I forgot to tell you about it. It's another game in addition to Castlevania 4, and I thought about getting Castlevania 4 a lot, but my birthday's coming up, and I'm thinking maybe I should get it for my birthday. Because I don't want it as bad, but I still really do want it, and I'm thinking it'd be a good idea if I just held off until my birthday and tried to get it for my birthday. But I don't want to ask Dad to get me Castlevania 4 for my birthday, and that's it, because if I tell him that the only thing that I want is a video game, he's not going to be too happy. Right, of course, he knows it's better than an $8,000 car. A simple $50 Nintendo game is nothing compared to an $8,000 car. But that's not the way he looks at things. Say, I want Castlevania 4. I know he'll be happy about that, but I don't think he's going to be too happy that I want something that that's just going to keep me up in my room that much longer. But it's not like there's anything to do down here either except for watch movies. I'm going to try to get Castlevania 4, but I'm also trying to think of other things that I want for my birthday. What I'm going to have to do is make a sacrifice and start playing Yahtzee a lot, so that way I can ask him for Yahtzee score pads, and that way he'll see something else that I want besides Nintendo games, and I won't have to worry about it. Let me see, is that record battery light still on? I can't find anything on the boob tube. Let's see, what else could I ask for my birthday besides Nintendo games, just to keep him from getting mad? Because, it's coming up pretty soon. I only got like a month and 2 weeks. How many weeks is it until March 5th about? Let me see, there's 29 days this month, so it's only 12 days. And today's the 24th. Today's the 24th. That's 5 days in this month and 5 days next month. It's only 10 days in a month. It's 31 in March. That's 41 days until my birthday. I started counting days until Christmas when it was 64. I'm not even counting days until my birthday that fast. And of course, that's because I'm not even thinking about it that much now. I've never been as excited about my birthday as I used to be. I used to be really excited about it because at my 14th birthday I got Arkanoid. That's the best birthday I've had yet, but recently it's not that much that I ever want. Alright, I remember promising myself last Christmas my last